Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now coming to here. So we already know that continuous integration, right? So continuous integration means nothing but up to the testing, or if you want to automate all the process, that is called as a continuous integration. So now we have the one more pillar in the DevOps. So that is called as a, so let me explain one more thing. What are the DevOps life cycle is available? So that is nothing but continuous integration. Continuous delivery, configuration management, continuous integration, continuous delivery, configuration management, and continuous monitoring. These are the four things in the life cycle. Okay, in the continuous integration. So we can go for the best tool in the market is Jenkins. Okay, now we'll see the continuous delivery. What is the meaning of continuous delivery? So whenever we are working on the continuous delivery, so we have to make sure to deliver your application to different types of environment. Let us take in the organization level, we are having different types of environment like development environment, call environment, certain environment, and production environment, right? So here in the developer environment, so we might be using more than one server. So we are deploying our application more than one server for high availability. For high availability, we are deploying more than one server. And qual environment, it is a testing. So whatever the code we are creating, all the code we can make it into the call environment. And certain environment is nothing but then we can go for the production. So this is very important. Now continuous integration, continuous delivery, configuration management, and continuous monitoring, right? So, and one more important point here, guys. So one more important point, what is the meaning of delivery? Why we need to go for the continuous delivery? Let us take, so we are having the production environment. So within the production environment, I have the four servers: server 1, server 2, server 3, and server 4, right? So we are having four servers, guys. Server 1, server 2, server 3, and server 4. Right. So within the four server, so within the four servers, my requirement is we have to make sure, guys. So we have to make sure and we need to deliver your application. Let's say I want to deploy my entire workspace, entire my application. So what are the tools? What are the things we need to do? So first one is you need to get the tools, all tools, and to configure services and to get application code, to get application code and middleware services to get all the tools, to configure services, to get application code and middleware services. So this is called as a web server 1, web server 2, and web server 3, and web server 4. The web server 1 and web server 2 and web server 3 and web server 4, right? So to get all kind of tools to configure the services, to get everything, this is called as a middleware services. And coming to the web server 2, guys, in this web server 2, and we have to make sure to configure all kind of resources. We have to make sure same thing we need to do the web server 2. Let us suppose if I want to do that, let's say how much time it will take to configure all the workspace in web server 1. Can anyone tell me how much time it will take? Vikram, Nagarjuna, Gopi, Madhavan. How much time it will take? Any idea? So let us take 2 hours time, guys. Let us take 2 hours time to configure all kind of your workspace. But again, we need to do same process in the web server 2. Again, we need to do the same process. Again, we need to do that. Like, see, let me tell you one thing. So in web server 1, we completed in 2 hours. But the same time, same configuration, if you want to deliver in the web server 2, we are not sure whether it is working or not, because might be the version compatibilities. Might be the version compatibilities, might be the code compatibilities, and okay, might be the version compatibilities and might be the code compatibilities or any other operating system issues. Okay, so what is our agenda? We should not go for the manual process to configure each and every services in the every environment. Let's say we have the 10 server. Let's say we have the 10 servers. So is it possible to configure all kind of configuration? Is it possible to configure all kind of configurations? See, is it possible to configure all kind of manual process in all the servers? See, for configuring deploying the workspace itself, it is taking long time. So that is not a recommended process. So how we can able to do this? How we can able to do that? So then we can go for the web server 1 and web server 2 and web server 3 and web server 4. So here to get all the tools to configure the services, let's go to here and select it. Right. Okay. So now what I need to do? So we need to configure all the process. That's we can go for the continuous delivery. So what it continuous delivery does that whatever the configurations we are using, guys, whatever the configurations we are using. So all the configurations we need to convert into one image. So let's say general scenario. Let us take. So these are the different types of locations. So this is for Dilshuk Nagar, SR Nagar, KPHP and PHL. Okay, so these are the 4 different locations. Now our requirement is, and we have to deliver your application into that. So same kind of application. Now what I can do, so instead of delivering same kind of application, I want to convert. I want to take some kind of containers, right? So instead of dispatching each and everything, I can take one container. I can take one container. So inside the container, I can configure all the configuration. Whatever the configurations we are doing in web server 2, everything we can make it into one snapshot. Everything we can make it into one snapshot. So within the snapshot, I can able to deploy them. I can able to deploy them into the web server 2, web server 3, and web server 4. So web server 1, web server 2, web server 3, and web server 4. So this is very important, guys. Web server 2, web server 3, web server 4, right? So within fraction of second. So we don't need to worry about this is nothing but a container. So who is responsible to convert the image and who is responsible to run the image inside the container? So that is a Docker. Okay. So within fraction of seconds, because if I want to do this, just we need to just install the containerization tool. So we need to install the Docker. The Docker will automatically running the images. When you run the images, automatically all the applications will be run. Clear? So within fraction of second, guys, and compatibility. So we no need to worry about the operating system compatibilities. So for web server 1, if it is working on the web server 1 for Windows, web server to the Linux, don't worry about it. Because every image in built-in operating system is required. Every image having the built-in operating system, so that operating system will be applied. So let's say, so in the usually what happened? So virtualization and containerization, right? So what is the meaning of virtualization? Suppose I have Windows laptop. My requirement is I want to deploy my application to Linux, some Solaris, and other operating system. So I have only for Windows laptop. Then how we can do that? We need to use some kind of virtualization tools, right? Hypervisor tool is required. VMware or VirtualBox, they can able to spin off the services. But the problem here, So for every machine, it is booting process. So it is consuming the RAM, it is consuming the capacity. But when coming to the containerization, it is a lightweight images. So built-in operating system is available inside the container. What is an advantage here? So that is a portability. We can easily deploy any kind of operating system. And one more important, we no need to require 4 kind of servers. So within single server only, we can deploy it. Within single server only, we can do like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, within single 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, within single server only, we can able to deploy our application. So this is very important, guys. So this is very important, and we can able to deploy. So what is an advantage? Every image is having identical. So here the infrastructure cost is reduced to 100%, right? So if you at least 50%. Earlier we have 4 servers, but now 1 server is enough. You might be having 1 more down. For failover purpose, so if it is any production level application for failover purpose, you can use one more server. But and one more important point, guys, all of a sudden if any images are down, automatically it will be recreated within server itself. That is a containerization tool, that is an orchestration. So Kubernetes. So there are 2 tools in the market in the continuous delivery. So one is for Docker, and another one is for the Kubernetes. So one is for Docker and the other one is for the Docker Kubernetes. So Docker is responsible to convert the image. Docker is responsible to convert the images. Docker is responsible to convert the images, and these images inside the container. Who will responsible to provide the container? Docker will be done, and Kubernetes to orchestration, scalability, availability, and deployment. So it is working as a master slave architecture, and this master slave architecture will automatically scale up the things. So let me draw a small diagram. So yesterday diagram, what we draw yesterday, that is a continuous integration, that is a old process, right? Now we are going to do the new process, guys. Now we are going to do the new process. Now we are going to do the new process and how it will be work. Now we are going to do the new process and how it will be work. Okay, so let me draw a modernization way of application. Modernization way of application, right? Right. So first thing is, my requirement is I have the 4 servers is required. My need 4 servers is required, right? So here we can take server 1, web server 2, we have web server 1, web server 1, web server 2, and web server 3, and web server 4. We have 4 web servers are available, right? So our requirement is, so within the server, I want to deliver my application, guys. So how we can able to deliver? We can able to do the content modernization way. Now what I can do first, usually where the application, first we will come from the scratch level. So where the developers are so developing the code, right? So the developers are developing the code and they are going to keep the code into the some version control system. So that is the Git. So here we can show the Git. Git is nothing but to keep application code. Keep application code. Keep application code, right? And we are also for Docker also, guys. Docker also, we need a Docker file to convert all kind of configuration. So Docker file to convert all configurations. Application code and Docker file to convert all kind of configurations. So this is very important. So next one is, so one is for Git and another one is for the Maven. What Maven can do that? So what Maven can do? So Maven is using for to compile the project and validate the project. Maven is responsible to compile the project and validate the project. To compile the project and validate, and we have to convert to the specific number of packages. Right? The packages will be either WAR file or jar file. So at this point, don't worry about it, guys. I'm just explaining the high level. So whenever we are going through one by one tool, so Git, Maven, and Jenkins, you can get very easily. Okay. So once the packages, we need to send this package into some secure location, guys. So this is the best approach. We need secure location. So in this secure location, so Maven. So here we can go Nexus or JFrog. So Nexus or JFrog will be there. So Nexus or JFrag may have to compile our Nexus. So this will help us to do the process. This will help us to do the process, right? So next one is, so next what we can do. So we are going to see here we can use the Jenkins case. So Jenkins is continuous integration. So we are using the CI/CD flow, guys. So we deliver is nothing but we are delivering your application to different types of servers, right? So the Jenkins is nothing but whatever the process we are doing, everything we are automating. Whatever the process we are doing, everything we are automating the process. Now coming to the Docker here. So what Docker can do? So Docker is responsible. So this is for Docker. Yeah, Docker is just whatever the Docker file, right? We convert into the images. It will be converted into the images, and these images we are saved into some kind of registry. So this is called as a Docker registry. So this is also registry, guys. That is application code registry, version control system. So this is called as a Docker registry. So this can contains all kind of images, right? So this is called as a my app. This is my app we deployed here. This is my app we deployed here. Right. This my app we deployed here. So this is the Git, Maven, Nexus, Docker registry. So once everything, this is the Kubernetes. Now Kubernetes will work as a master slave order. This is the master, guys. So the master will communicate with all the servers. So not only for Kubernetes, if any from now onwards, if anywhere we are aware of orchestration, orchestration is nothing but group of nodes working together as a cluster. Group of nodes working together as a cluster. So whenever this group of nodes working together as a cluster, so this will take care about the orchestration. Now this is the Kubernetes part. Okay. So here we can go for the same. Okay. So this is the Kubernetes part, and web server 1, server 2, web server 3, and web server 4. Right. Okay. Now, so this is for Git. Git to Maven. Maven to Nexus. Yeah, Nexus to Jenkins, guys. Okay. Jenkins. So the Docker we need to push the Docker image. So in this image, this is we are tagging the image as well. My app colon version 1.0. So this version here we need to write some kind of configuration file, guys. Application deployment image. Okay, my app 1.0. So automatically the Kubernetes will push all kind of application delivery to more than one image. It will be deployed for high availability. Even if one of the image is down, automatically it will be recreated one more image. That is an orchestration, guys. Orchestration is nothing but scalability, availability, and deployment, right? So here we need to store the archiving. So this is the, so if anybody asking the question in the interview, what is your end-to-end pipeline? What is your end-to-end pipeline? So end-to-end pipeline is nothing but for committing the code to the delivery of the system. That is the end-to-end pipeline. So Nexus and JFrog will help us to store artifacts to store artifacts. So Git is nothing but to keep application code, and Maven is nothing but to compile the code and validate the code, and Nexus is to store the artifact. Right. So each and every process. So everything is doing. See, you can also doing the manual, guys, but here the Jenkins will automate all the process. Jenkins will automate. So the first stage, whatever the first stage, to get the code from repository, and second stage compile and validate the project. Third one is to send packages into artifacts. Fourth one is Docker file, right? So this will help us to send into the Docker, and fifth one is Docker registry, right? To send the Docker registry. So this will help us to the Docker registry will help us to whatever the push the images. So to keep images. The sixth one is that delivery into different types of servers. So this is called as a CI/CD process, guys. CI/CD process with modernization way. So see, nowadays the most of the companies are trying to migrate their application this way with a single click, guys. Just when you click on the pipeline, automatically everything will be delivered. I am going to send this. Diagram into the chat. So you just go through it. You can keep this diagram with you, guys. So this is very important diagram. So for understanding about the Kubernetes. Important diagram to understanding about the Kubernetes configuration. Clear, na? Right. Hey, why it is not created? See. Now we got it, guys. Okay, so this is the diagram. We got it now. This is the diagram. We got it now. Clear, na? Any doubts? Vikram, Nagarjuna, Gopi, Madhavan?
No,
so
sir.
who joined as guest user? Okay, fine. Clear, everyone? Got it now? Now, so this is the process of continuous integration. Now there is a configuration management. Okay, we know that we servers are ready, but what are the, suppose I want to require some requirement is I want to configure some kind of configurations, guys. Okay, let us take, I have the 4 servers. 1, 2, 3, 1. I have 4 servers, server 1, server 2, server 3. Right, guys. Okay, so now we have the 4 servers. I want to install some kind of configurations, guys. I want to install some kind of configurations, right? So what are the configuration is required? We have the, suppose if you take any kind of application, we need some kind of tool. So Java, .NET, PHP, and web server or HTTP. Okay, so application server, we can say the Tomcat. Okay, and we are also required some kind of SSL configuration, and we are also used some kind of tools. Which kind of tools here? Python, SDK, Kubernetes, Docker. Okay, so these are the different types of the tools, guys. Okay, I want to make sure suppose whenever the new server is created, so we need to install all these kind of tools. So can anyone tell me, suppose how much time it will take to install all these servers in one by one? How much time it will take? How much time it will take to install all these configurations? Can anyone tell me? Madhavan?
Half an hour.
Yeah, let's say half an hour or 2 hours. Okay, in between. Okay, suppose for installation one, suppose 4 servers, 2 hours is enough, right? 2 hours or 3 hours is enough. But let us assume if we have 100 servers. Madhavan, let us assume if we have 100 servers, then what we can do? So if we have 100 servers, right? If we have 100 servers, then it should be a problem, correct? If we have 100 servers, so 100 into 1 hour or 2 hours. So it is taking more number of time to only for installation of the configuration. Then think about the time. Think about this client will accept this much of time. This client will accept this much of time. So they will not accept, right? So they will not accept. So how we can do handle this situation? Then how we can able to
Yeah, we
handle
can
the
this process
situation?
by using some scripting.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can automate this process by using
Exactly.
some
We can
scripting
automate some kind of
with the
process, right?
same configuration.
Configurations, configuration management. So for this, there is we can go in the DevOps. Here the DevOps for every whenever the things is required. So the DevOps engineer will come into the picture. So this is nothing but configuration management. The configuration management. The configuration management. So we are going to discuss Ansible, Puppet, or Chef. So guys, Puppet and Chef are the old one. Nowadays the companies are not using. The Ansible is very powerful. Ansible is very powerful. Ansible is what they can do. So here also we can orchestrate. We can connect all the servers into one cluster, and we need to connect this one. Okay, we need to connect this one like this, like this. Okay, so here there are two things. If you go for the Puppet, so that is an agent. So we need to install a physical agent here. So automatically the agent will install all the softwares. But here in the Puppet level, so by using the SSH key, passwordless authentication, the Ansible master, right? The Ansible, this is called a WARS master, and this is for web server 1, web server 2. Web server 1, web server 1, web server 2, and web server 3, and web server 4. Okay, this is the web server master, guys. Okay, now what I can do? So we need to write some kind of infrastructure as a code. So we need to write some script here in the master itself. We need to write some script here. Okay, so how it looks like? So Java 1.1.8 or 1.10. Okay, .NET 2.x, PHP 1.x, okay, Java 1.8, .NET 2.x, PHP 1.x. Okay, so like this we can able to configure, and Tomcat 9.x. So like this, whatever the version required, we need to write some kind of scripting. So in the YAML, mostly the script will be YAML only. So YAML, JSON, this very simple, guys. Just like a key value configuration, that's it. So we just write some script. Okay. In the master itself, what it contains, it is using the serverless authentication. Serverless automatically, the master will log into each and every web server, and it will be executed all the things within fraction of seconds. Okay, within fraction of second. How we can do? This is the passwordless authentication. For the strategy, to use it for the passwordless authentication. Whenever the master is executed all this configuration, the master will push. This is called as a push based mechanism, guys. Okay, whenever the agent is available, that is a pull based mechanism. This is called as a push based mechanism. The master will push all kind of configuration. The master will push all kind of configuration within fraction of second. So within less than a 10 minutes, Even 1000 up to 3000 servers we can configure it. Up to 3000 servers, that is an advantage in the configuration management. And one more thing, let's suppose something went wrong. See, for every code, infrastructure as a code, we are managing some kind of version. Some kind of version. So don't worry about it, right? So don't worry about it. Automatically we can go for the master. So master and passwordless authentication. So automatic. And how you might be having wondered how the master knows these many servers we need to deploy. There is an inventory file. Inventory file nothing but INI file. So that file can contains all kind of information. That file can contains all kind of information to get all the process. Okay. So this is the master, and we have the web server 1, web server 2, web server 3. And let us take the Puppet. So if you example of Puppet or Chef. So we need to install some agent here. This agent will automatically pull all the configuration. Okay. But Ansible, what is the difference between the Ansible and other configuration steps? Ansible is using up to 3000 modules will be supported. Sorry. Up to 3000 servers it will be supported, but coming to the Puppet or Chef, less than 40 modules only it will be supported. So that's why most of the organizations are going that. Okay, now we are clear. We know why we are using the Jenkins. We know why we are using the Git manual. We understood now Docker and Kubernetes, right? Why continuous delivery is required. So what are the necessity? We already know that. Next one is configuration management. The configuration management is nothing but just we are going to configure all kind of resources into the server. So who is taking care to provide the servers? Who is taking care to provide the server? That is very important, right? Who is taking care to provide the server? So that should be taken care by AWS. So that is a cloud technology. So that's why the people are using the cloud. If you go to anywhere in the market, that is the cloud. So as a DevOps engineer, we need at least one cloud technology, guys. So at least one cloud technology. So that cloud technology will be either it should be AWS or Azure or GCP. If you learn one cloud technology, so rest of the cloud technologies are very simple. Rest of the cloud technologies are very simple. So this is very important. So we can do like that. And one more important point here. So the cloud is responsible to compute the resources and scalability, everything. That should be a different story. Now the final continuous monitoring. What is the meaning of continuous monitoring? So this is, it's not a specific kind of tools, guys. So this is the organization by organization. So that should be different. Organization by organization. So that should be different. Okay. So in the cloud level also we have the cloud watch to monitor the system. What is an advantage? Let us take this is a server. This is an application, right? So within the application we have different types of resources. We have servers, application servers, and databases, and other configurations, right? Other configurations are available. Web server, application servers, databases, other configurations are available. Now what I can do, let us take if something went wrong in the web server. So nothing is there. We just created some kind of test harness. Test harness is nothing but service discovery kind of thing. So we created some kind of test harness and we can able to do that. Then we can able to do that. So this is very, very important. So this will help us to automatically to communicate the thing. Okay. So we just keep it the monitor, guys. If the monitor is green color, so nothing is there. Just like a see, if you know the ticketing tool or a ticket railway system in the book my show, right? How it collects the seats the same way. Okay, we just created whatever the resources we are using in the application level. For every resources, we created a monitor. So this monitor is showing green color, red color, and yellow color. So there are 2-3 ways. If it is green color, so we are good. If it is red color, is an issue. If it is yellow color, it's having some partial issue. Okay, is about to get an issue. So like this, we can able to troubleshoot. What are the tools in the configuration management? So that should be AppDynamics is the APM, application performance monitoring. So that is organization. So whatever you suppose whoever is got a new company, right? So based on the company, they will just log into the system. They can monitor the system. That's it. So mostly you guys are concentrated. So as of now, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, AWS. So even we are learning all the tools, these 4 tools you need to concentrate. So 70% you need to concentrate. Rest of the 30% you guys only for Jenkins Git manual. Okay. So clear everyone? Any questions from your end?
No, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. For suppose you said continuous monitoring.
Yeah,
For suppose since we have 1,000 plus servers,
yeah.
and how to keep track all of them? Is there any
Yeah,
centralized
exactly.
tool?
So for this, we can go for the application performance monitoring tools like AppDynamics or New Relic. Okay, and we have the Prometheus or Grafana is there, Nagarjuna. In this scenario, we just install the agents, right? So we just
Yes.
install small kind of agent service in the every server. So automatically that agent will automatically pick up all kind of information and export it into the service. Got it now?
Yes.
Clear?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever the resources are available, that should be agent will get the information and paste into the some kind of UI. So we can easily understand like where is the issue and what was the issue and how we can able to troubleshoot the process. How we
Okay.
can able to troubleshoot the process. Clear now?
Yeah. Clear. Got it.
And coming to the one more time. So what are the tools we are going to discuss? Git, Maven, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. So once Git, Maven, Jenkins is completed, we are going to cover the AWS guys. First, we are going to complete the AWS. So once AWS is completed, then we will come up with the Docker, Kubernetes, and Ansible. So till Jenkins, guys. So it looks like Windows. We are working Windows. It's very good. But coming to the Docker and Kubernetes and AWS, it's very interesting. Even Git is also it's a common tool for everyone. So Git is the common tool for developer, for a Devops engineer, for testers. Everybody is using the Git. Maven is also Maven is a developer, especially the Java developers are using the Maven tool. So why we need to use it? Because when you are working on the pipeline, right, we need to aware of each and every tool. So we just included the tool in our pipeline. We just included our tool into our pipeline. Got it now? So that's why we are going to. And Jenkins, what is the meaning of Jenkins? Jenkins is a continuous integration tool. So to automate all kind of process. So whatever the manual process we are doing as of now, we can able to automate to entire end-to-end deployment process. So this is very important. Any questions? Nagarjun, any questions from your end?
Yeah. No.
Fine. Gopi, Madhavan,
No, sir.
Vikram?
No hurry.
Fine, fine. Vikram, any questions? Okay, sure. So thanks everyone. So that's all from today. And tomorrow we are going to start with the practical. So tomorrow we are going to start with the practical. So Git, and here we discussed about what is the version control system, what is the old version control system, and what is the difference in between the old one and new distributed version control system like Git, and how it will be used in the real-time scenario. And then we are going to see the practical step-by-step manner. Okay. So you guys make it, your laptops are ready and you need to install those softwares once it is done. So we are also discussing every tool in the Linux environment and as well as Windows environment. From Docker, from AWS onwards, everything will be the virtual. So Docker and Kubernetes, most of the production level applications should be in the Linux environment only, right? So most of the stuff we are going to discuss in the Linux. Clear everyone? Okay guys, bye.